I want you to stop at our house. So they knew where I lived, down on 13 miles towards Rock Springs. And I said, pick up my wife. And I said, I'm going to head on down there in my pickup, because I said, I don't want to be afoot when you get there. And I said, I want to be there before they do anything. And I said, you fellas are going to drive faster than me, so I better get going now. Well, I thought them ambulance traveled, you know. I got in that old pickup and put my foot on the floor, and I headed for Rock Springs. Well, I got down there, and no ambulance had ever passed me, and it wasn't there. And I said, I certainly didn't outrun the ambulance. And I said, I wonder where in the world they went. You know, well, pretty soon here they come a chugging in. And I said, if that leg is broke in the knee joint, we ain't stopping in Rock Springs. We're going where they got better doctors. But it wasn't. It was broke above the knee, so they fixed it.
Was that from a falling tree? Or?
Yeah, I sent him for my saw, or sent him for my axe. And when he come back, the tree it started down when I seen him, and he was right in line with it. So I told him to run, and I thought he'd run straight forward, but he didn't. He run lengthwise of that tree, and it hit him between the shoulders, knocked him down both his legs.
And it was the fall. He landed on a little stump or something and broke his leg. It split up lengthwise and broke it crosswise.
But I went up there and broke my ankle up here on a little flat top, and my cousin, he was hauling logs, and I was following them for him, and he was doing the skidding. And well, when he'd leave home, we lived right beside each other, and when he'd leave home in the morning, he'd leave home before daylight. Why, that old log truck, I could make better time with my pickup, so I'd finish my breakfast, and then I'd catch him up there. Well, this morning it snowed about an inch, and there was nobody ahead of us. It wasn't quite daylight, you know. He had his lights on, and he goes into this patch of trees, and he had a turnaround there. Well, where he pulled into his turnaround, I passed him, and he backed into the landing, and he pulled his coffee out, and he's having a cup of coffee, waiting for me to come. Well, I'm already there, parked below him, so I walked up, and he seen me through the rear view mirror. He seen me walk up there.
But he had turned in to back down.
Yeah, he backed up there, and I walked up there, and he was wondering where I come from, and I said, if you'd get around in the morning, we'd get a day's work done. I said, I got your little logs cut already. And what could he say, you know? He knew I was just blowing to him, but anyway, he didn't know just how that happened. Well, then I told him how it all come about, that he was asleep when I passed him, and so anyhow, then we cut a load of logs and skidded, and he left. And I had cut a forked tree, a big one, for wood. And I takes my cat and I pulled it over by the road, and then I dozed it up beside the road where I was going to cut it up. Well, when I cut that fork in two, when it got far enough, it just snapped and jumped and hit me and busted my ankle right there. Knocked my hat off, got snow in my hat, I put it on, got snow down my neck. Ooh, that was a feeling and a half. You know, my leg hurting. And so anyway, I sat there and thought it over a little while. And then I had a few posts left, and I said, if I load them, I can take my chains off. And because I didn't want to
with a broken ankle, right?
So I takes my chains off after I'd loaded it up. And that road was so slick and steep, and I almost missed it twice, but anyway, we made it home. And I said, now, feller, that could be broke. If you don't unload this thing, it's going to be loaded till you get out of that hospital. So I unloaded it, and I went to the house. And when you go in the house, there's a little stand by the door, a little
Doing them
divider.
stale logs there.
So I just went around that divider and I sit down. Supper was ready and I eat it. And then I tells the missus, I says, now, you go get my crutches, because I said I need them. So she went and got the crutches. I got into my chair. Now I said, you call Thompson and tell him to come over, because if you tell him I broke my leg, he'll say, now what's next are we going to hear? You know, he ain't going to believe it. So he comes over and I said, Thompson, I don't think I'll be up there tomorrow. I said, there's something wrong with this outfit. And I said, I'm going to the doctor. And so Anyhow, I called the doctor and said, what time will you be there? And they said, we'll be there at 10 o'clock. And I said, I'll be there at 10 o'clock. So we'd packed it in ice, and at 10 o'clock I was up there. And the nurse says, do you have anything to do downtown? Says, doctor won't be in till 1 o'clock. And I said, well, I thought he's going to be here at 10. And I said, I sure ain't got no business downtown. I said, my ankle is hurting, and I said, I'm going to sit here till he comes. Well, this old nurse was there, and she said, pull up that pant leg. Let me see that ankle. I pulled it up. She told somebody, you just fix a bed for him right now. And she said, the doctor will be here in a few minutes. And so he was. And he x-rayed it, and he said, I think you're going to stay here tonight. And I said, well, I brought my suitcase. I'm ready. And he said, that thing is broke. And he said, we got to operate. And so they operated and put a screw in there and put it together.
And then after he come home, why, he was going to go buck up some logs.
Right.
And out there on crutches trying to buck up logs. Finally, you decided that wasn't
Now
going.
that one got when it was all...
Oh, it still got the one screw in there, but it got along fine.
It's flexible enough and everything
Oh,
now?
Is it true that you really like the government?
Did I like the government? Oh, we're buddies. You know.
Now I've also told them about your fence story up at Elkhart Park. Was it a snake fence or whatever you
Yeah,
call it?
worm fence.
I gotta get Marv back. I gotta let him hear that. That's so fun. Listen, while we're just chewing around, one of the reasons we brought you here is that, first of all, you should see our house.
Yeah, I see you've got logs up there.
Herman brought all those in last
They
year
look
for us.
nice, don't they?
Yeah.
We got up
We just about doubled.
17 rounds. We're going to go up
16. Almost.
16. My tractor broke down, an axle today. And we
How
wanted,
did you get him up there?
I'm not going to tell you.
You just throw
How
them on
do
your
you think
shoulders and throw them up there.
No, it's Sierra Club Meditation.
A lot of different
I
pulleys.
see a string hanging down over the side. That might have something to do with it, huh?
That had a little bit to do with it.
Yeah, well, these Sierra Club guys, you know, if they get all of them get their heads together, I'm sure they can figure out things.
I also read in the paper last week that they trespass when they go fishing. Did you read that article in the paper? Some guy got arrested for trespassing
Oh, yes.
and fishing.
Yes.
They accused him of being a Sierra Club member.
Oh,
Some
yeah, that old
74-year-old.
man,
Yeah.
yeah.
Tom Harkness.
Yeah.
What's the true story on that?
Oh, look at that.
Well,
He's got that horse
Why isn't it
on it. I
broke?
wanted.
Yeah, he just was trying to get him to kind of dance around and prance around a little.
He's just got it. I got it. Just hang on a minute. You got your horse?
Well, Eli.
It's Eli.
Put it right on there. We can still hear him.
You're sweating a little there,
Just keep
Eli.
that horse there separate.
Which one's which?
All right, you can tell.
I think that's the end of the horse tape.
Is he
They're ready to
ever
run it off
sweating?
on that.
Because he's
This
got
is the
that.
house.
He's got that horse really.
Well, we can always edit it.
Oh yeah.
What we've got out here is we've got Bob Wetsky, and he's riding Eli, and I wanted to show some of the things that he's done with him for stepping out. Eli is, I think, 4 years old now, and Bob has had him and trained him most of the year.
Tell him to keep over that way a little bit, because that damn post's right in my way.
Keep going, Bob, to the right, up that way if you can. Out that way.
That post gets right in my way, Bob.
What we wanted to show is how nicely he dances and walks and prances. Now this horse, look at the way he's carrying his head, the way his foot the way his feet are moving, and I think that's
That's just the way he did with me the other day. Yeah, he's pretty.
really a direct result of Bob's training. And he's very good on children, and but when Bob gets on him, he just performs. He just is. That's an Arab, and he just loves to move.
He's really going for it.
Yes.
He knows we're taking his picture, Bob.
Can you gallop him at all?
Yeah, I did.
Well, give me a couple of shots out there, will you? Around the trees. Now, what's interesting when you're riding this horse is the way that, look at him go.
He can really move.
And he's got a galloping gait that's really kind of fun and fairly easy to ride. Arabians are very friendly animals. They're like pets in the house. And in the mountains, they are unexcelled by their stamina, their sure-footedness, their mountain smarts. I've really come to appreciate. Look at that horse. Look at him move. Look at him go.
Yeah.
Yeah. And this is Eli and Bob Wetsky. Good show, Bob.
And
My sense of being an armchair historian, that documents like that are fun and useful to other people. You ought to see this guy cut timber.
I keep losing pencil. Here's a pencil.
That is a mind blast.
Okay. Now this is what I call my second floor. Here's the pencil and getting paper.
You know, I went.
And here's something too I can show you that the architect gave me. It's not much of a blueprint, but
They don't care which.
now this is where he shows my double purlin. See? With the post coming all the way down to the basement, but it's a broken post, like up
But
here.
now that's this is inside the building.
Right. Two different places there's columns
Okay,
coming
now
up.
this is a picture of your roof here.
Yeah, now he doesn't have all the detail yet though. I mean, he doesn't show...
Was your roof going to be shorter one way than the other?
Yeah, because that's a porch. This is actually just the house part, right here. And then from here to here is a porch. And then the back part of my house is at a jog. And so it's offset over there, and then it has a porch.
Oh, Ed on Tramp and Leo on Eli.
yeah. Look at that tail. Yeah.
Here, Robert. Now I'm going to show you one of the best riders, the trainer of Eli, Bob Wetsky and his dad. Here, Bob, take it. You guys go up the hill so we get away from this stuff a bit. That's amazing.
How many old plants like that, Billy?
A little bit. If you go with him, run with him, Marv. Come on, Carol. We'll take you.
Oh, cut this out.
Well, Okay.
You know, I turned
Here come the riders of the Purple Sage up onto the dam. I guess that was enough, eh?
Around these lips, sorry. Oh, look at Eli. Yeah. Bill's having a hard time keeping him smooth.
Bob, is this the back 40 we're on?
That is.
Okay, that's what I thought. Down by Long's?
Shots.
Yeah. Need an ashtray for that. Running uphill.
Are you zooming in at all?
Yeah, it's all zoom.
Go Rummy.
Yeah, he's not going to stay behind us. That's because he's a little older than all the rest.
Hold his tail behind so Mr. Experience. It's hot. Yeah.
There's our Valley Hawk. Riding the thermals is what he's doing.
Eli's prancing to beat heck now.
He just holds that head a certain way, doesn't he? When he's
Look at him, you can tell he's just picking
yeah.
him up and putting him down.
Yeah.
Birdie. There's the shot.
Oh.
Tail in the air.
Oh, he looked nice against that dark tree.
Oh, I like this guy right
Got three little cowboys all in a row.
Wasn't that nice? Here, Bob.
Go ahead. No.
You ride this one. Come on. Okay,
Bob, get on. Go ahead.
what you just saw was right up along our back 40 boundary line, and the entire back section is national forest. So it's really a nice ride. And
You get warmed up now. You don't
what
wanna-
I'd like to do is
you don't
to
wanna
show
stay
you.
still anymore.
See his veins pumped up.
Yeah.
I'd like to show you
Wet rubber.
a view of the property from the back 40 and the pond and the places that we can ride just for the fun of it and where the horses get to ride. This is Ed Wetzke, and Ed Wetzke about 20 years ago. Introduced me to horses and this entire life, and I guess it's I'm partly indebted to him, or I guess I don't know the other way, but to being here because of him. And all my skills of horseback riding are his teaching.
Don't fall off now, Leo.
So if I fall off, it's because he showed me how. So we're gonna ride.
Go through the Aspen's and along there, you can get that water in there.
Well, I thought if you guys drove up at the top.
Yeah, I got that band back.
He's going, Tony.
Look at that pretty boy. Going off.
Why don't you lead off, Lamar? This is your big show.
Down by the pond. Right over the water. Beautiful. The horse is just below the hot shadow and not deep.
They're gonna come up on the dam, I think.
See the shadows.
Yeah. I hadn't noticed that.
They don't open them. Headed back to the Ponderosa.
The Three Amigos, as Bob calls them. Dead Shots Hay Barn and arena in the background. Corral. Up here to Wyoming.
Rummy looks pretty, don't it?
Mm-hmm. He runs so nice with his tail up high.
And the Grovants are on the North 40. That's in their background, and the Hoback River drainage is right in back of that, or right in back of us there, in front of the Grovants. These Arabs are very friendly and very reliable horses. And you can see that they are proud and they put up their tails and they really like this kind of things. And one of the great pleasures out here in the winter and the summer is to watch the horses at night as they do it on their own. They just start this kind of dance and parade. And they really have a lot of fun with it. All right. Now, the drive is in low probably. This one, this is Bob. He always amazing. He does this bareback, no reins. He just stands on that horse. Courage. Horse, are you ready for a ride up the?
That's the pond. And the logs for the house. Mountain. Dead Shots Arena. We're way up here on the knob.
Come right up this ridge.
There's the Tetons, as Bob said, right under Eli's legs. This is on top of the knob. They came up a pretty steep spot here. Show a picture of the guys on top of the knob and the pond there in the distance. Swing by again, see if we can pick up the winds back there. Okay. Going back down the knob now, heading off the top. Go a little further that way. They say Rummy's the most sure-footed. Making its way over there. Ed's down on another zag, as it said. Rummy kind of goes his own way, doesn't he? Oh. I know you're going to hear that wind on the film. Yeah.
Straight over. He's gonna do it for the camera. Come on, show off. Come on. Come on.
Where'd you find it at? Is that right?
There you go.
Oh, how pretty, Eli. Oh, my.
Toss his camera right away.
Isn't that a pretty horse?
And this is something more modern?
No, Michael is a reproduction. Mary and Megan are.
And reproduction means one of the old antique bells?
Now see, like in the center of the coffin there, those are Kishner Hilda's reproduction.
I'm not sure that I know what that means.
Well, that's one of the most popular of all dolls.
Kishner Hilda.
Kishner
Would
Hilda.
that have been American made?
No.
French or German?
So you're showing your
How do you
babies.
spell Kishner?
Poor Tuffy looking for
K-
his plate.
E-S-H-N-E-R.
Okay, I don't think I ran into that.
Yeah, she's
Jumeau
one of the
and
most
Brewer
popular
and-
of all dolls.
You say the upper part?
Yeah, Spooner. We're way up north.
You have
And
a
these
whole
would have
collection?
been
75
somewhere
miles
between
from,
the late 1800s and the
They get snow.
early
That's it.
1900s.
Oh, quite good.
You have a collection?
She
I
makes
guess.
She makes
these. She's been doing this since
these are
83.
antique doll molds.
working
Molds
on
of reproduction. And then
Nice.
you've got the molds.
I
To
can
make
make 42 different dolls.
Imogene's been doing it for 5 years only.
Only
You
5
keep
years.
busy.
Right to the east.
Yeah, I don't know. I've lost track, but I've
This
got
is
over
this
100
one
dolls
then,
in
right?
the house.
This
Yes,
is
sugar
that
bits.
one.
Yes.
That's it.
Mhm.
Iron Mountain and Ironwood. Anyway, up in that area.
You would think that was a real baby there.
Yeah.
That was,
Oh, I've had them in the
Richmond's
car.
pretty. I have,
People start to
I've been
walk
around
by
that
and
much.
back up and look again, you know.
Does it loop around above Wisconsin? On the
a
north?
little bit.
There's a little bit of Michigan between Canada and Wisconsin.
Well, Rosie and I, when we were collecting music boxes, we ran across.
I told her those two Simon and
Part
Halby.
of it does.
Oh, she knows the names.
Michigan doesn't come all the way over. Just a little bit on the east part.
I was thinking this little one was a Kestner, but then I don't know for sure if I actually ever saw a name
This
on
is
it.
awful pretty country out here. Wide open spaces.
These
I
would
rode
have
way
been
I rode that whole
like
ridge
you
up
had
there
a doll and I
about
had a
about
doll
twice
like in the
that far.
20s and
Just
30s.
over
These
to
would have been
there,
just
right.
before that time.
That
Just
was
before,
pretty
because ours were composition. The kind of
Yeah.
composition that
He wants to take
cracked.
me up there.
No, there's a
You
lot
know.
of those.
Yeah.
Like mine, I suppose mine was a late 30s.
I've
They had
still got it.
Mrs. What's her name?
I used to her cheap
Had the Mifflin. Mrs. Mifflin sewed the human hair on it.
Yeah,
And
I
you
seen
had
that.
one that was a blonde. They had your own
When I
hair?
started those on Antelope back there, there were 20 of them.
That got sewn on it. Now
But
those
this
were both
base
the
in
kind of
here,
thing that
before they-
peeled.
Before
I
there
think-
was
Gotta
And
try
they
it.
had
had all
sawdust
these
bodies
Your mountain
probably.
bike?
Yeah.
Since
and everything.
But then it would have been just before that
Why
there
should
would
I
have
go
been
back
this
to my
other kind of
childhood?
doll.
Not
I drove one of
necessarily.
those. I made it a mountain. I could
Uh,
ride
some
down
of your
those jumping
oldies.
creeks.
Are soft.
Are they?
I've redone one. She had a porcelain head, a cloth body,
This has been accepted.
composition
Yeah.
arms,
All over. We've
leather
been,
legs.
I
before I
don't
came
know.
here.
Oh, leather, I
Sure.
I just bought that fifth wheel and I wanted to try
Not
it
that
out.
I know
before
much
come way
about
up here,
them.
you know.
Now, do you really do this much
I
of
went
the
up in
costume?
Wisconsin, Then our daughter lives in Missouri.
We
You
had-
don't
Missouri to
you
see
don't get
her,
all of this
the next
braiding
one
and
was
really
cloth and
steep
everything behind you.
ravine.
Arkansas,
Oh,
and
both
Kentucky,
Oh,
and a little bit of
That's
Tennessee.
where
when
we
we
used
was
to
in
ride
Amarillo,
around.
that's
We were
that
the
way.
first
There was
mountain
some-
bikers.
It's greener down
On your
there.
little
Uh,
10-speed
I
probably.
was in a
No,
doll
it was a
shop,
balloon
and this
tire.
lady
Was,
says, "Well, if you
That's
heard
an
Malou,
old bike.
It was an old
you know,
balloon
who
tire,
Malou
heavy
was,
frame
you know."
bike.
Well, anyway, it was in a
We
little
used to
town
jump
about
stuff,
60
they
miles
jumped the
south of
creek.
But the
Amarillo.
corn,
And,
Right down the
as
hills.
far as
It was about 3
they
o'clock
didn't
in
get
the
the rain at the
afternoon.
right
We
time.
took off
They
with
built this
Malou. And it was an old bowling alley,
it's all
so
gone
you
now.
can
I
kind
mean,
of have an
places
idea of the size.
Hey,
where we used to play.
Maloof was a
Like I
Jew.
said,
My friend that died this year,
one cutting my brother
And,
really
had
bad for me.
he doesn't farm it.
But as kids, we used to run
You
this creek.
go
and
in
there
there
was
and you walk
He loves
sideways
pheasants
through the
and
aisle
squirrels
And
and all
you
kinds
couldn't
of
reach
things.
the
But now
top
it's
of
all
the
subdivision.
of a
Well, it's
material.
And a guy,
And,
one of the other kids that I grew up with, came all the way from
just
California. He
everything.
wanted to go down
That's
there.
And like these
And so
little
the three of us
roses,
went down and looked at
um,
bad.
all the
They
old
was,
oak trees we used to swing from, you know, in the creek.
Did they leave them up?
They're all, I mean, it's just like the rest of us. We're all, the oaks are there, but the limbs are all
And,
decaying
well,
off,
they're
you
in
know, just like
strips.
the rest of them.
I cut them
Oak tree's
apart.
supposed to be long.
And,
But the one arm that used to stick out over the creek,
now,
we put a rope on
Herman
and
made that
swing way
far
out.
doll, the Negro doll, for our youngest granddaughter.
Lindy Herman made for Monica.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And they made that one for our grandson.
You know,
Oh, Shadow, so funny.
Uh-huh.
the drought
Walks
has-
up to you with
they-
her
And,
ears down.
our
so
son
we
is
cut it.
adopted.
Right now, you know, it will. and the
Oh, great.
prices are
Oh.
And
really
then
does make sense,
the
doesn't it?
man doll
Well,
over
she's
there,
coming
he
out
made
of it,
for a
you know.
fellow in
Well,
Pinedale.
now
out there
food.
to take
And this one he
everybody.
made for me.
Ole
See, they used to
Johnson.
raise
Yeah,
cattle
that's
and
what-
keep
that's
your
what-
lots of it, but
Well,
now they've
the
turned
guy
this
wanted
over
a
to sportsmen
sweet
so
doll.
much
So when Herman got him all finished, he named
then
him
it
Ole
don't-
Janssen.
the nation
Ole Janssen.
would miss it, you know.
And
they
then
raised a lot
this
of
one he
cattle
made
because
for me.
he
Of course,
saw
I
it.
dressed them all.
We don't see
His fingers.
And
Now,
so
when he
they
makes
can-
them, does that
they-
mean
they
he
never
paints
miss
the
them there,
face?
You know, because they've got them.
Cleans the
way down in it.
greenware.
Have you noticed them draws, Leo, just across from your fence to theirs? Looks like they mowed their lawns.
And then that one is
Them
a
cattle got
three-faced
grazed
dog.
down that
You
bad.
turn the head
I looked at
and
that
see
the
it
other day.
sleeping.
It looks so
smiling.
neat in
And
yours.
that would have been
Theirs
an
is just-
original.
No, I
Huge.
well,
Yeah.
but it's an
There
old
wasn't
one.
it was an antique one like that.
And as far as they can stick their
And
heads
he
through
made
the
that for
fence,
our
you know.
oldest granddaughter.
It doesn't seem like there'd
And
be
they get
room
it
enough
cheap.
on
wouldn't
that
think
face
so,
to
would
have three.
Well, we take
Well, it
everything
is.
You
for
just
granted,
slip the bonnet around.
Yes, and it looks
this country here,
horrible
normally.
without a hat on.
Oh, with
Yeah,
two
it's
lots of
faces.
grass.
Oh,
Normally.
But anyway,
I don't
when we
know,
went down
watched
there,
those
well,
guys hay the other day.
I told
Hay
him
with
I'd take
horses.
20 yards.
Oh,
for
the
that.
camels over
Yeah.
there.
And
That was
Oh,
interesting.
it was
Yeah,
this
we used to
card.
do it all.
That's the
Oh,
way I
about
grew up.
wide, about that
This
long.
lace is-
No,
Herman
these
always
little
had
roses.
Oh,
They're by the yard. I cut them apart.
I see.
And,
That's a lot of
he
what's
says,
breaking
I'll
these
sell you the
things
whole
today, that type right
bulk
there.
of it for $20.
It costs a lot more than
Grabbed
that.
it, you know. I can only
Costs you
measure
so much to
78
operate.
yards on.
Are you
That
logging with costs your you a lot. team?
Was this something
Pretty
you
cheap,
had
pretty
on
cheap
hand
deal.
a long time, or?
What's ours?
I don't
About 3
think
ton
so.
a year?
He was a Jew. He was just a dealer, you know.
It depends on the size of the horse and it depends
Yeah,
whether
we
you use
have
it.
glasses.
Yeah.
Oh, for
Like
for
that team I got
recreation,
there
or
now, they
senior
No.
citizens.
No, just the gals. Comes and, because I have a shop.
Now, are you pulling logs with your team?
The one
With
floor
one of
is
them.
16 by
I've
32,
used the other one a
and
little
then I have
bit.
a
I
full
use
basement
one
under
of
that where I pour all my greenware.
Now,
I'd
do
like
you
to do
put
that.
hair, this whatever this
Amazing
hair
what a
is
horse can
on?
pull.
Yeah, it's
That old mare
it's
the other
a
day
wig.
over there,
Is that human
Had a
hair? Or?
No,
tree hung
it's
up.
synthetic.
It does.
hooked her
Barb
onto
was
it and
saying
she
he
pulled
couldn't
it about
tell
2
I
feet.
can't.
Oh no,
And
you
then
have
she
to
just
be
give up.
professional to tell the
She just
difference.
wouldn't even try.
And so
There's
that it's
two little
glued
kids
on,
there.
or what?
Mhm. Yeah, they have a little
and they said to
buckram
me,
pate, about like that.
you hook
You
that
pull
red
it
truck
on.
onto
So it's
it,
just
it'll pull it
the
down.
whole wig.
All of those are wigs.
So I had a load on my truck, so I backed it around there.
So you
where I could
buy
reach it with
then
2 chains and
the hair, like
it's
from
fun,
just,
it would
you go
fun
through
going
some
uphill.
catalog
Oh, they
and you
said you
say,
turn
Yeah,
it downhill.
we-
It'll
I'll
pull
take
go
this
downhill.
style or
So I
that, say
turned
long
it downhill,
banana
and
curls
it
or whatever for
But
your
I never
style
did
that
hear
you're
the
doing.
tree
You just-
crash.
You pick
And I
the,
pulled it
but
quite
you
a
don't
ways,
pick
so I
the
stopped
costumes. You make
and looked,
those.
and
Oh, I
it
make
was hung
all
on a
that.
forked tree,
And like I
it
was
had
telling
one fork
her,
about broke
every
out.
stitch of it is
Well,
by
the kid
hand.
said you go a little more. I said
The
it's gonna come
bodies
pretty quick. So
are sewn on the
pulled it in the
machine.
morning,
Now,
put it
like
down.
this is done
Then
on
I
the
cut off-
machine.
cut it into three
But,
loads. She never looked back.
Mhm.
She just drug
This
them all over
finished
there,
edge,
trucked them in
sure.
loaded. She
But,
could tell the feel of it.
Yeah,
It was all
Well,
foolishness.
but
There's no use to
everything
pull on
is-
that.
That's
And
good.
stitched.
Alright.
That was all for nothing.
Well, they should
She
have
was
like
gonna have nothing to do.
realistic looking legs. They curl
Don't they?
around.
Yeah.
But she did give her one good pull.
That's really, I've never
And
seen
then do
one
those
like
eyes
that.
close?
No.
No.
I was
No,
talking
they're not sleep
to
eyes.
This
BJ
one never
over
goes to
there
sleep.
about runaway horses and runaway
Is that
teams.
a
Have you ever
cow?
had a runaway team?
Yeah, it's
And that's right.
I had one once.
Well, tell me about it. What happened?
That's good.
What happened?
Mm-hmm. Beautiful stuff.
Well, I bought this team and I was just about sunup and I hooked them onto a
oh,
harrow.
it gets to you,
and
boy.
I
You know,
I hadn't used them on
thought
nothing. I
between
just hooked
700
them
and
onto that
800
harrow. I
ceramic
wasn't really
molds.
thinking too much, but
Just imagine.
But,
one of them was
pictures,
rolling
pots,
its
kinds
eyes,
of
and I
things,
thought to
bowls,
myself, well, I
vases,
don't really look
figurines.
good, you know.
and
And I stepped
But
back
since
on
we
that
got
arrow
into
and
the
spoke
dolls,
to them, and one of them jumped
they're
10
just
feet, and the
sitting
other one
there.
jumped 20,
Now,
and
do
then
you
they
sew
started
them
out
together
jumping each other, and
what, the
I
dolls?
just rode the lines at them and let them go. They got away from me.
I have
you know,
some
I
in,
had no chance with them.
at
You
the
let the
Wrangler
lines
gift
go?
shop
Oh,
there in
yeah, and they
Pinedale.
made a circle
And
around
Chris's
that
Club.
house and headed for
Down
that
Pine.
barn, and they both
That's
tried to
all.
go through the door at the same time, and then
So do you go
after
then,
they
like,
got in
the
there,
big
I got
shows and
over there.
everything?
They
Are
was
there
looking
such
out that
things?
door, and their
Oh,
eyes
yes,
was just
there's-
green.
Like when we come back from Amarillo
So,
last
so
fall,
then I
we
went to my neighbor
timed
that I
it
got them from, and
to
I
go
said,
to
I
a
thought
doll
you sold
show
me a
in
broke
Denver.
team.
And would that
And
be
I
both
said,
kind
well, I
new
had a
or
runaway
some
deluxe
old
there
or
this morning.
or
And
what?
you come
Would they
down there and
be
you showed
some
me about
antique or
that.
all
I figured he'd
new,
make the
or-
team good.
Most
But he
of
was
it
too
is
good orator for that. But
reproduction
anyway,
on
he come
new
down
dolls.
and we drove them. I don't know if we drove them together or separate.
I think the lady
But
I
that
sold
one
these
mare,
two
she was a
dolls
middle-aged
to, I
mare,
realized
and
as
she'd
I
run
had
so
them
many
in my
times
front room,
that all
I
she was
thought,
looking for
big
was a
as
chance to run,
toddler,
and the other one was just
30,
half
32
broke.
inch,
You know?
whatever they were.
Boy, I had a
But-
pile up
but
deal.
I just didn't have a place for them.
Oh yeah, I had
And I
one
sold
over
them to
there,
a
too.
lady. I don't know
That
that I
doesn't
made
scare
much
you.
money. I just suddenly realized I couldn't.
It scares you a little if you're on
use
now.
them.
I
You
had
have
a
to be on
team-
a wagon or something.
I had a
lady
team run with a
in,
rake one time.
Morton
Old
Road, I
gent,
think it
well,
was.
one was young and the other
And
was
she
old.
had dolls all over.
And
the
the
house.
neck yoke
We
broke
were-
as I
we
was
were
turning the
sitting in
corner, and
chairs,
that wheel
sitting on stools,
hit that
and there were little high
bay
chairs
mare in the
around,
ribs, and she
Yeah.
jumped.
and
Well,
every
then it swung
bedroom
around
had
and hit the
dolls
horse
on
in
the
the butt.
beds and all of
He
that.
jumped, and
Yeah,
I
we-
got off behind. I could see what was
I
going to
think
happen,
there's
and I got
7
a
on
good
my
hold on them
headboard.
lines where I could rear back. I had my feet
And,
against the frame.
People then
But
don't tend to put them in a
that
case
rake
and
hitting
close
that
the door.
team,
That's
they
something.
just
Well,
Oh,
I
I-
suppose
they
if
just
it's
kept
valuable
glass
enough,
kept
cases
on
and
till they
stuff.
finally, I just had to
But
turn
the
loose.
reason I have
And
so
then
many,
they headed to the
of course,
haystack, and
I
there was a
probably
guy
would
on a
anyway,
sweep.
but 'cause,
He
boy,
started to jump
you hate
off of
to
that
get rid
sweep
of
to
'em.
stop my team, and I said, "You hang on to
Just
what
like
you
your
got
kids.
because
And,
you ain't going to stop this
but,
team. This team is gone."
so
Well, there was
that
another
the
team
gals
standing there
can see them for samples.
to the fence.
You
They
know,
weren't
most people
tied. They
can't
just standing there
visualize,
to a rake.
You know, just a
And
piece
the
of
kid
green
driving
wire
the
that's
stacker
no
team,
color to
he
or
was
anything.
half asleep.
They can't
When they went
visualize
past
what
that
it'll look
stacker
like
team,
then.
while they
Does that
woke
look
up
at-
and they took
just
off,
stark white.
but he jumped 2-3
Well,
long jumps.
just kind of
but
a
he never turned them loose.
off-white,
He
kind
got
of a
them headed
grayish
into the
white
stack and
before
stopped
they're
them.
fired.
But when they went by
And
that
then
team
they're pure
standing
white
there,
after
they
they're-
both took
well,
off.
they're not
and
pure white after
headed
they're
for the
fired.
barn.
They're
and
flesh
they
color.
straddled the fence
But,
down there for a quarter of a
no,
mile. Boy, they took that down toward their
no
rakes all to pieces.
cheek
and
tone,
took off.
no lips, or anything, just blah.
Yeah.
And
So that's how they
yeah.
choose when they're
Ghost
gonna
Lake.
make.
Oh,
and
right.
then the first firing, you put
Yeah,
there's
I
a
see
black
one
eye
of
line
them.
that goes just inside the eye, and the nose and the cheeks.
We need to get a
All that
buggy
coloring.
made out here,
Then you
Leo.
fire them.
I
then
want
you
it.
put the
Do you have any old buggies out there?
eyebrows and lips and
What do you mean?
if
You
you're
just
gonna paint
drag
the
your team. You
eyelashes
don't have
on
any
'em,
fun with them.
then
They don't
they,
drag stuff in a buggy or
Oh,
they're painted on, and then
put-
cherry.
Well, then
put
when-
her in the trailer,
When you have
take her up
classes,
there
they
and
pick
skid
different
all this.
ones. Each
Then
person
bring
might
her
be
home.
working a
Bring her
different
home.
one, and do you have a picture
See, his
somewhere of
dad-
what their
I
dress
think
should
that'd be a
look like?
perfect setup what he made
as
with
far
this,
as the
you know,
clothes they
Oh,
dress
rear
their own.
axle of a
I mean, do they have a picture
truck
for
and then
ideas?
I
build
gotta
a
see
seat
that.
I
on
have
it,
a
put a
sample
tongue
of all
out
of my
there.
dolls.
I would like
And
to
then
have
do
his,
they pick
his
from the
well, where
remnants
we
and
got
stuff you
started
have, or
was
do
that
No,
we had
they
bring
get it
their-
a
wherever
couple of
they want.
horses that were
And
about
then they
12,
do they do
1300
that with you
pounds, I
too, or
think.
it's
And he
just
made
the
a team out of
painting?
them. They
Just
were
the
both pack,
porcelain.
ride, and
Porcelain.
saddle and a team.
And if it's a cloth body
And he
doll,
had
they get the
an
pattern.
axle and
So they can do that
like
for
a
their own children or
buckboard, you know,
grandchildren.
with
or
the
something
springs.
like
with
that.
the springs in it.
Oh, there was one. I had
And,
one of these in the fair last
He
year.
had to cross a river just like
And,
we have to cross
this
here
gal
over one.
called
He had
me
to
and
cross
she
a lot
says,
bigger. And
I
I really
wanna make one
enjoyed
of those
that. I
baby
mean,
dolls.
my
That's all I
dad,
want. I wanna
like
make one of
Mar
them baby
and
dolls.
you both,
Well,
ran teams,
she
and
come up
my
and she
dad
made her
was a
sugar
Swedish
britches.
farmer,
and
believe it or
between
not.
her and her daughter,
and he
I
used
made
to tell
3
me
sugar
about running
britches,
teams of 6, you know, and
4 of the peaches and
drags
patches.
behind that.
Find some
And,
harnesses,
2
and I bet
lovelies.
that'd motivate young
I've
men to
got
build
the
buggies.
harness.
Get busy for a
Yeah,
while.
harness.
Yeah.
Six said, and you
and,
know,
and she's coming back
when
this
they haul
fall.
freight out
to
of
make
Rock
a couple
Now,
Springs,
do you
of
look at
mention
that,
that's
it's
for
22
grandchildren,
edges
or
on
is
it.
that just to put her on her own?
Wouldn't that be
house?
awesome?
Well,
And drove
her
with one
daughter
line.
collects dolls,
That would be
so
just
her
awesome.
daughter made her own.
But out of Oak
she
Val,
made one
How do
for
you
her mother,
control
one
20
for her sister,
20 horses on a
and one
line.
for her mother.
on one line,
Yeah.
well, they called
and,
it a jerk line.
Then the others
And
was
if you
for
and
herself.
they were broke,
Is there one
you
in
pull
here?
when you
These
pull
peaches?
back
I saw
on it, the way
that.
they were
Yeah,
adjusted,
there's two
it held
in, a,
one horse back.
in the same
It held
picture.
him back,
Well, and then
and
there's
the other
one
horse
in the-
went around him.
Yeah,
Okay.
this
If
is
you held him
peaches
back.
and patches, and this
But
one
if you
is,
wanted to turn the other direction,
Peaches.
you jerked it, and
Oh, yeah.
No.
that's why they called of
Was
the jerk
that
line.
That's
And
did
when
that
they
take-
jerked
Peaches
it,
and
then
patches
then that
together
horse walked
here.
around the other.
So
And,
that took some
then
skill at
this is-
driving that, I would think.
what is it?
Well,
Patches.
22
This
head,
one
you
patches.
only handle that
But
lead team.
the
that's all.
legs
Yeah,
is meant
that's
to
about what
be
it
like
means.
this. See, these have the same
The rest
thing.
of them,
But I recut
they're
the
lead
legs
team and your wheel team.
I see.
so
Your
that,
wheel
she could
team,
stand
but
in that
In
one.
a big outfit like that, your wheel team didn't have too much control.
And I got one.
In
I
4,
just finished
a
it
wheel team's got a
a
lot of
couple of
control.
weeks
But
ago. I
when
dressed
you get
it in a
strung
little
out
bunny
there.
suit, put the little ears
they were
on,
going down there.
and
Failer's dad
and
and another fella were going to Rock
uh,
Springs for a load of stuff.
like,
It was
you know,
that
it's got
took a
the
week to
cloth
make that
legs,
trip.
and I didn't put
And
shoes on it
they had
because
their
it's a
horses,
whole
extra horses
complete
there at Boulder.
suit.
And they had a horse, something
then I have
happened
a
to
little
him.
doll laying in a
So they
little
went to put a
cradle.
new one in the string. Well, they had
And,
a 5 or
it has
6 year old gelding there.
it's
That
brass.
that's what they wanted to
And
take.
Has
But when they
the
went to rope him,
side pieces up and down.
why they got an old
So,
gelding about
I
16,
was
17
just
years old
messing
that
around
never had
and
a rope
I took
on
that
him.
little bunny rabbit
Oh,
over
they
there
said that's all
and
right. He'll
put
be
its
broke
leg
when he
up
gets home.
over
We'll
the
just take
side
him.
Yeah.
and fixed
So-
it.
He'll be broke
One
when he
foot
So
gets
they-
down
your
on the
dad's
floor,
philosophy.
just like a
They
trying
just
to talk
hooked
with
him into
that other
that
dog.
beam and
It
they headed
turned
for
out
Rock
so
Springs.
cute.
So they said that horse
Take a
just
picture.
fought and fought
Have
and
it
fought.
yet.
Done that.
And
Oh, that's
they had
The sun,
uh,
yeah.
chains.
The sky's beautiful.
They had little rods with it, and they were connected with chains between the teams. But the rod
Oh,
was
it's
between
fun.
the
It
two
gets
horses
to
in the
you.
team, each
But
team.
when you
Well,
you
that
have a
horse
kill
kicked
then.
one of them
Oh,
rods
yeah.
and broke a leg.
And
Oh.
what
course,
did you
when he
used
broke a
to
leg, he was
do,
done.
like with all these other moles?
So
Did you
Vent Failure
have
goes
like
back
a
and asks the
retail
other
shop
fella,
when
said,
you
"Have you
said
got a
like
gun with you?" And he said,
Well,
"No,
Dishes
I
and
know."
bases and all
I
that?
He
sold
said that horse broke his
mostly
leg. He said,
green
"You got to kill him."
and then
So he
I
got his pocket
I
knife
made
out,
finished items.
proceeded to cut
sold
his throat.
finished items.
and
Through Pinedale and Pinedale.
Roy Lozer was just
Yeah,
a kid
and just
then.
through the
Boy,
shop
he
there.
said that was one bloody mess, and he said
Yeah.
that horse did fight,
I,
but he finally
the
got
only
his throat cut.
experience I had
Oh,
with that
that's
was
Pulled the harness
my
off of him
sister-in-law,
and
Lou.
went
Made
right on to
Christmas
Rock Springs
trees
without
from
him.
green railroad,
Yeah.
had holes in them,
Yeah, I
and
have
the
some-
light on the inside, and
I
little,
have one that's
little
got
plastic
eye
things he put
But
in
you see,
there.
he was on the
Light
gentle
shows up
horse's
and-
side, reaching over
And
there,
I
whittling
think
on
she
it,
made
because that horse would
like
be
a great
striking.
big panther or something like that she put on a coffee table or something.
Well, I'll tell you, it was
painted.
better to do that than
So
to
she's the only
break
one
your
I-
leg and turn
I
him
have
loose.
known that
I
ever
seen a
did
fella
this, but
break one's leg in the
and
timber and then
I
just
don't know
turn
how
him
long
loose.
she did,
That's
but I
no.
know she liked it what she's doing. Up in Winthrop Harbor, I think.
I know that
How long she
Bob
ignored me.
down here
in
had to
Winthrop
shoot a
Harbor,
horse up here
somebody
one
that
day. And
Yeah.
had
that's
been
plagued me
there.
ever
She
since
did.
because I wouldn't know how to do that.
So I carry my
Well, we
pistol.
don't go out principal's business.
That's
Why?
true. I think there's a
At
reason.
that
for
time,
it.
somebody had to be there all the time, so you know who gets elected.
Yeah.
And
cow had
so
broke his leg.
we went back
They
to
didn't want to
Indiana
shoot the
to
cow
my
or anything, you know.
folks,
They went out there.
and I was
and
telling
he
my
just
sister about some
put a
plaques that I
plate
had seen.
on both sides.
And
Drilled right through.
so she says, well, I
top
know a
bottom,
place
put
where
bolts through there
they
till it healed. Bolts right through
make
it.
them, and what
Yeah.
those were
Now you can
plaster
do the bone.
Paris.
Uh-huh.
On
But
the
I
black
put it to
velvet
sleep,
with
you know.
copper frames. They were
Both of that.
beautiful.
That
And she
used to
says,
metal
I know
on
where
both
they
sides
make
of the
that
leg.
stuff. So we
Did
went
you
down
eat
there.
your
Well,
old
it wasn't
that
plaster.
when it
I-
healed up,
Did you eat your horse?
back
No, I
And
didn't.
bolts up.
so
But
anyway,
lamb,
we
I don't know, a horse.
ended
I
up
wonder why they couldn't do that to
uh,
a horse. I don't know. I never
looking
heard
at
of
that and getting some information.
Telling
One thing
Leo,
about
I've
a
seen
horse
come
is that
across
they
a
get
lot
down,
of
they'll die. They said they can't lay
a lot of
very
horse skeletons out in the mountains. They're all
They
over
can't-
the
Is this the
place.
same kind of
They can't
kill
see
that
them
a
dead
potter
there
would
very
use
well.
that uses
That's
earthenware
I don't know
or,
why, but
or
they
clay
don't.
pots with a wheel
your,
There are
and
some, but
all
not
that
very
kind
much.
of thing?
your
They test their
porcelain
window up or
is
something.
fired at
Lambs
the same
Don't breathe well, you
temperature
know.
as
They
stoneware.
But lambs, when we,
Your ceramic
when we had
is
lambs,
fired at a lower
well,
temperature.
we just take one of these quaking
Now
knives
this is porcelain.
and we
This is
cut
porcelain.
around it,
They're still
you know,
going. Yeah.
above and below.
Still
Put
going.
around
It
and
changes
Is it really?
a minute.
Yeah.
just take that bark off and
I
put it
know,
right
but
around the
something
leg and
warmer
tie it
to
with
put
about
on it.
4 strands on the front of it.
No kidding.
And
I would
that
think
bark
he would be
hold
too.
until it was
Don't let me
good.
fall into the baby.
Is your
On a
blue
lamb and a horse.
sweat, thing with the hood over here?
Oh, there it is, right there.
Rosie, did we make any decision here?
Because, honey,
Or
you're
the-
supposed to call a guy tonight.
Yeah.
I like the thought
So,
of not
I get
having to do the whole
185.
roof next summer. I mean, buying all the material.
get in touch with
And
you. Your
if-
address is
Doing a rough in 2 summers.
Yeah, but getting the shell up
Here,
so
you
the
can
rain
just-
doesn't come in. So just getting the tongue and groove up
And the tar
with
paper.
some kind of builder's cloth or
that
asphalt or
What
something
all it needs
over
to
there.
him is rafters or pearl.
Well,
Oh, yeah.
if you'll come and
Uh,
show us how
oh.
to do the rafters.
This lady, well, last fall, her husband come to get some
We'll give you a couple,
and she
extra,
saw 'em, and
we'll give you an extra.
That would help
So,
us out with our logs here.
she
then,
ordered 2
then
of
we could use more
her
of those logs.
You
granddaughters.
mean for
She had
us
2
to
granddaughters.
fly-
It was
I
12
wanna
years
fly-
old.
But if
Their
you
birthdays
wanted,
was
if you
2
wanted,
days
I'd like
apart.
to buy 'em for
if
And,
you
And what I'm
wanted,
saying is,
she was
we
gonna
don't
get 'em
need
for their
all those things with
birthdays.
white things
Yeah,
on them.
the-
We
Her
may
mother
not have
got
to be
seconds, you didn't get up to get him 'cause he lived
to
around
finish your
Springs.
building.
Right.
Yeah,
And,
but for your raft,
so
yeah,
she
for
got him
finishing
something
building,
else
but
for the birthdays.
If you
and
use log
decided to
rafters,
get, give him
I
some
would
for
think
Christmas.
that you should just buy a
Well,
full
when she
set
come back to get them.
of,
The book
Because,
suggests anywhere from
I had
6
to
inches
dress
to
'em.
8 inches. Is that
And,
about right, or would you go
Anyway,
bigger?
she,
you mean for the rafters?
Yeah.
when she come back to
Yeah,
get
I
them,
go
she says,
8
well,
inches, like 8
Mike
to
says
9
that the older girls can't have them without the little girls have them.
And
Because there was a
you could
kindergartner and a
flatten them,
first
and we'd
grader.
still have to peel them.
Well, I had just gotten
That won't take long, though, an 8-inch
So
log.
she fell in love
You
with
see,
them.
and what I do, if I
And,
knew you wanted them,
So she
I
ordered
knew the
one of
length
each
you
of
wanted.
those for the little
I would
girl.
just sort them out and,
And,
file them up there.
She,
And if anything happened, that
she
you
took them
changed your
home
mind,
after,
there's no
you know,
problem.
I had to
We
make
got
them
a
because
home
I had
for
just
'em, you
gotten
know.
them old
That's
in
like the guy
Denver,
from
and I
Kentucky
hadn't
who
even
wanted to
made
build a log
That
house
was-
any
here,
up
but
yet.
This is
He
your
had
first
heart
try.
surgery.
And
and
so
he was getting
she
long
says,
in years, so he decided not to do it. But,
What happened to your poles?
you,
oh, they went here and there. I got a few
when I
of them
called her
there
and told
now,
her
and
they
I
was
want
ready,
some
why
of
she
them.
come and got them.
I figure
She said
from
that this was
here
after Christmas.
to
Then she
here
was telling me
it's probably
that
14
she took them
and a half
home
feet.
and she
That
put them
would
down
be
in her
from the
basement so
peak
the kids
to
couldn't
the
see them.
wall.
But she went down
And
every
then
day
on
and
the
played
one
with them.
side, I
And,
figure I want to go out maybe another
And then they had
7.5.
impressed
I don't
on
know
the
if you interrupt
little
them,
girls
if you have two there or
that
what. But
they
it's kind
weren't
of a
play
big
dolls.
overhang
They were
there
just
to
look
match
at
the
dolls.
porch
You
that
have to
comes
do
out
that.
here.
So
So,
So
it's like 14 and
Christmas
a half
afternoon,
to either
why they went around to each of the kids'
wall.
houses to see the dolls,
And then 7.5
or
had to
see
be
all their
22
gifts.
feet.
And she
yeah, I
always
figured
picked
right
up the
here,
dolls.
a combination of 22.
And the little
And over here would be
kindergartner
like
says,
about
"Good
14 and
grandma,
a half and another,
those
I
aren't
don't
play
know
dolls."
what it is to make
Oh,
about
it
29.
tickled her to
Wow,
death.
they had learned, huh?
But those
Or
are,
she says,
if
I'm
those
sure
would be
when
too
they got 'em
heavy
up
to
in their
put
room,
up or
they
something,
got
then
half
I
of them
suppose you
somehow.
could put those in.
But you know,
by
it
the two
depends
people.
on the child.
Yeah, and you have to realize that from the and really, a real keepsake, I can see that being heirloom, you know, from mother to daughter.
9-inch or 8-inch.
But,
That'd be
but
that'd
no,
be
like the
heavy,
peaches and
but not in,
patches,
well, green.
they're
no.
135. So
If you cut them this year, you can.
they are exactly
Oh, they're
like this,
standing
except
yet?
different expressions on their faces, and they are small.
Well, then that'll make them lightweight.
They're about 14 where she's about 9.
First of all,
I wouldn't know, yes, but it, sure the size of a baby, and the babies are 19.
Well,
20.
she's preemie size.
Yeah,
Rosemary's father
that's about right.
got up there.
They
I
say if
think
you
mine were about 21.
No, with
so-
those,
they say if you buy the clothes for them, why they're preemie size.
Now, this was my plan.
But I've seen some of them that
my
they
choice.
bought clothes for
You saw
them.
this empty space
They
here
don't
that
quite
was
fit
a-
right. They
was a
have to be
stairway.
a
You
long
saw that
sleeve
they didn't all go over the
because
edge. These
of
are
the cloth
approximately
arm.
3 feet on
And
center.
they have to
Should
have a
the
high neck.
rafters be closer?
So that they hide.
I would
And when I make them, why I put an elastic in here so that it fits.
Always.
That makes a pretty
everything.
awful lot of rafters. Is that okay?
Yeah, I can see how.
Every 2 feet. If
You know,
they're,
and it
if they're
doesn't
8 or
make any
9
difference how many I make of them, you know. But I bought 13
Yeah,
new
that's
molds
right.
last fall.
Oh my goodness, branching out.
And,
Well, I was wondering, would it look nice
well, unless
to
it's
go
something
exactly
special,
above the
I won't
joists with
order
the
any more
rafters?
because
Or is there any point in
Uh,
that? Because these
they have
raft-
some
these
trouble
joists
making
were
decisions.
30,
And
I can see why.
34.
Which one would they do?
not quite 3 feet.
Yeah, but you can't see the joy as soon as you get over it.
That's only in
But,
this part.
They don't always
That's
have in
really
mind
true,
just
so
what
it
they
wouldn't
like.
matter. Whatever would
unless
be
they've seen one
structurally-
Well,
somehow,
let's see, how many
then
would
they
it
got
take?
an idea.
At,
Just like the gal
you got a
that saw
paper to
this
write
one at the
down
fair.
how many,
Why, that was
And
the
it'll
only
say
one she
30.
wanted,
You'd
but
almost
You
have
didn't
to,
actually
I'll
enter
tell
that,
you.
you just had that.
You'd almost have to tell me. I'll
last
just
year,
give you the dimensions. The
I
dimensions
judged
are 33
the dolls.
feet.
well, I
By-
judged the ceramics period.
This is
all.
inside now. I'm
And
not
so I just have my
talking,
dolls on display.
you know, outside or middle of the wall, the middle of the wall, but the inside of the building.
No.
It's 23 and a half this way. And then,
But
There's this
if you were to
nodule.
want
It's
one,
and it's
you can
exactly
specify,
it's 23 and a half. both
brown or
ways.
blonde hair,
Uh-huh.
blue or brown eyes,
So
or
that, those are the
the color
dimensions.
clothes.
now
Now,
your midriff
now,
over here and then.
You're kind of a little ragamuffin.
right. Now, what I also have,
Quieter than.
I better do another drawing.
So wait a
Because because I got porch
Yeah.
that this doesn't show.
Well, if I was to cut them 30 feet and
Be sure and have a place to keep it.
and 20
But maybe you
Our
have
son,
you or somebody that knows
has a
their
shelf up
hypotenuse
in the
and all
girls'
that.
room.
Check.
And it's
I
down,
can tell you my dimensions
oh,
in my roof.
maybe that far from the ceiling. And the oldest girl, she has dolls from different countries. But they're up there so that they can look at them, but the neighbor kids can't come in and
That's it, you know.
cause disasters. And
Yeah.
now the littler girl,
same log, even if you cut it off.
Sophia's
You wouldn't. I thought Bob
14,
said maybe you would put
and
them
the
side
youngest
by
one
side.
is 8.
But you just
And,
put them right together.
But even when
She
you
just
side by
doesn't have
side,
that much interest in
in
dolls.
other words, if you say if you
But
cut
the older
20
one,
feet,
Yeah,
or
they
20
are
feet,
different.
you cut one off and say you want 14, you cut it off at 14.
Of my two girls, now the one that has the little girl would be the,
Come right alongside,
she
you
would
wouldn't
have
get a
been more
big
interested in
difference in
dolls.
the
My
log.
oldest really was outright.
Yeah,
You
but
would
I
have
think-
to try to match
But if you
it.
overlap
Busy,
it all,
busy,
I
busy,
think you
you
need
know.
another foot or two.
Well, I suppose you would, yeah. But I mean, if you
But
could,
you know,
if you could
probably
cut them,
like
they could
you,
get it out of one log.
when I was
Yeah,
growing
Then
up,
so you wouldn't have to try and match
we
them
didn't
logs
have
and
many
all.
dolls.
Just use the
Oh, I
same
had
piece
the
of
one
weed
down
and
Rosie
on
was
down.
not, I think that, I don't.
Rather than messing around, you know. I used to walk very happy.
Those kinds
You
of
know.
things were kind of hard.
And so, and really I wasn't interested in the dolls
Maybe we can have
until
Oh,
in one of the ceramic magazines
Herman's gonna come out
was
and
the
show us.
picture of this Kitchener Hilda.
Okay.
And,
Now,
you know, because many of the old dolls are really ugly.
Yes, I did. They don't always appeal to me.
And, well, they have such big, bold eye
Yeah.
brows and so many eyelashes that they look like spider legs. And they just didn't interest me until I saw Hilda. And then I got the mold for her, and we had so much fun with her, neighbor gal and I. And that I got a couple more. And
I better look and see.
then some of the gals got to come around.
Like the
Well,
porch
oh
goes
boy,
out
I'd like to
8
make
feet.
one. And I don't like to
Covering
teach.
the
And
columns
so,
of the- but I probably want this
oh
one to
yeah,
go out
and so the other gal,
foot or something. So
she said that she would teach.
probably be about a 9 foot.
But
Let me look.
now things has got around till I suppose she ends up teaching about half.
Right on the wall.
Is it all in your home?
Yeah,
Yeah, that's what I'm talking about. If
yeah. When we built the
they're
house,
around so a guy can
we
cut
built
'em
in
off.
a shop
And he
that
can
is
start point again, so
12
you
by
can start with the
28
same log.
feet.
See?
And
So you don't have to,
then before we put brick on the house, why
but
Herman says, well, we better build on more shop.
They're a lot easier to handle.
So we
that
built
way.
on a 16
And,
by 32 with a full
And they're
base.
easier to match.
So I have plenty of area,
It's
but still
possible I
disaster.
My roof 2.5 feet out. Yeah.
See, I was thinking that was setting on nothing out there, but if that's setting on
I
a,
hear those cranes, if they would come over, could you still,
Well, I
it's
will
probably too
have.
dark to get that
I'll have
picture.
posts.
Oh, I don't
Posts
think so.
will have
We've been wanting to get a
a
picture.
purlin or
Fly right
whatever
over
you
here
call that
usually.
at the
A
edge.
couple times a day,
Yeah.
or you
And
could
then
be
I like
the
to
camera
overhang
out,
that.
Yeah.
or something.
Getting ready to load the horses to take them back for the winter. Ed, Bob, Dolores. Next year, Rocky will have a little colt to come back with her.
Well, I'm gonna get them too. I got some extra pictures. I take pictures every year I'm down here.
Wow.
I've got a hell of a collection of it.
Rosie don't like to see him go.
Here we are at Craters of the Moon National Monument near Arco, Idaho, south central Idaho. This is the first trail stop. According to the literature we picked up, geologists expect this area to erupt again sometime.
Corn guard.
What comes out of a volcano? Gas, liquid, and sound.
I won't see much in this hole though.
No.
You know?
Probably won't show. Just a black hole.
That's probably about what it'll look like. Hmm? We're walking up the path here, and this is some of the lava that has came out, formed here. We're going on to where there's, they call it dewdrop, I think it is, caves. This probably look just like a bunch of black dirt. Believe me, it's rock. "85 acres, I think the park is. Okay, this is the entrance to Boy Scout Cave. Carol and I are going to crawl in there and see what it's like. Looks pretty tight, but we'll make her. Won't you, Carol?
Because you didn't go in there, you wouldn't have made it.
It's real rough, huh?
Yeah, you're not kidding.
There's Marv coming out of.
They didn't clean it up.
Beauty caves the easiest one.
Here we are at just past Galena Summit, 8,700 feet, on our way to the Sawtooth Recreation Area. We want to see Stanley and some of the lakes up there today. Beautiful valley here.
You can hear and shoot the valley.
Here's Carol. We're getting a picture of her. We're way up here. What do you call this pass?
Galena Summit.
Galena Summit.
This is a spot on the road between Stanley and Chalice, following the Salmon River down. This is the backside of the dam. Was built by a mining company to provide power for their mine, which is a ways off the road. Just get another view of the river here. We've been following it all along for quite a ways. We're on our way to Chalice on Route 75.
We just stopped here to have a bite to eat on our way. It's very, very beautiful here. Right down here is the river. Just right alongside of the road. Pull off on the side of the road. Maybe we can get a shot of some of the scenery around here. Idaho is a very picturesque state. Although we do see places where they have irrigated in the valleys and the land seems to be very fertile if you can get water to it. There's a little log cabin right across the river here. I don't know if it's in use or not. This morning we're at the Flathead Lake. This lake is 25 miles long and 15 miles wide. 27 miles long, I think they said. 15 miles wide. This is what they call the big arm of Flathead Lake. Very, very, very pretty. Here. Sun is just coming up over the mountains. Flathead got its name because the Indians here used to tie their children on their back so tight that it made their heads flat. And that's how this part of the country got its name right here. You can see some of the islands out there. One big island here where we can pan back, get a better shot of it. Several little islands and lakes. Real pretty, beautiful, nice campgrounds here. One little trailer right here. We're about another 75 miles from Glacier Park. We're gonna take off for there this morning.
Mountain we've seen here on going to the Sun Road. Stopped to take a picture of it. Saw some people touring on a motorcycle, and there's a tunnel right up there. Aiming way up. Get some of the view here. No way we can get it all in the picture.
This is the tunnel. We're just about to go through. Cut right into the rock. Here we are on our way going to the Sun Road.
Is that smoke?
Sure smells like it.
Well, that could be some flares out of the...
See if we can see some cars on this roadway below. Pan up here. There's a glacier right here. Right in there lays one of the glaciers. There's another one. There's another. Back here so we can see the tops of the mountain. There's the first big glacier right there.
I'm going to show you the Granite Creek down here at the bottom. Way down there. Get a view of some glaciers a little closer. Go down to the valley again.
You land on that river?
There now.
Here we are at the Garden Wall, Lewis Range. water running down from the glacier. Some little guy out there having all kinds of fun.
I'm going to the Sun Road. Just laying there watching the cars go by on the highway. What do you do for low light?
Low light?
Or it didn't say low light, should I just leave it alone? Give you a view of this nice falls. Starting here. It's an exceptionally dry year. Used to always be snowing here, they tell us.
Here we are at the Continental Divide. Stand around and show you some of the mountains here. There's my sweetie right there. Okay. We'll go to the visitor center here. Some of the flowers on the way, walking up the side of the mountain, at the Continental Divide. This is a small little fall from the glacier melt as we walk up the path there. There's a glacier right here that's coming from. I'm going to shoot right around here. Oops, Carol. You can see way down there. Where the trail goes over the hill, that isn't quite the halfway point. We've walked up here. We're headed up on top. There's supposed to be some goats up there. I'm going to put some salt on their tail.
You can see three glaciers on that peak way over there. We're on our walk, says it's 1.5 miles up to Hidden Valley. It seems like we've gone 5 straight up already. There's another mountain goat. We're on the observation platform now. The goat licking up some of the water that's sprinkled down. I'm going to the Sun Highway. Yeah.
The other one over there. Yeah, that'll.
Another goat on the side of the rocks here.
Right at
Yeah. I'm gonna get him close then.
We're on a wilderness type road going up the west side of Glacier Park and happen to see this nice deer. She doesn't seem to be perturbed by us.
Pull that out. Let's see how close
It's so bumpy, Marvin, it's terrible. It's too bumpy. We saw 2 deer in a meadow up here. They both ran away, and this one is hiding from us, as you can see. Knows we can't see it or anything. It's just watching us to see the curiously wondering what we're gonna do.
Here's a ptarmigan that they have here. They're so tame that I almost just run over one.
It's a smaller one, that third one.